And welcome to the very last performance of Kill Me Deadly, and most probably the very last time you will be seeing a play in black and white. Now you know why no one else does that. We're never going to do it again, seriously. Thank you for being here and sharing this very special night with us. A few things that you need to know. I would actually like to start with a trigger warning for violence against women and also loss of a family member. Those things will happen throughout the play. Maybe more than once, without spoiling anything. Second, although we are heavily inspired by cinema this time, this is in fact not cinema, this is theatre. Ergo, the best seats are not in the back, where the majority of you are seated, but in the front. Several people know this already, good for you, but I still see several seats unoccupied, so I'm actually dead serious. Get up and come to the front. You have 1 minute while I keep talking. Relocate yourselves. I really, really mean it. We'll be able to see you better, hear you better, your reactions. You'll be able to see us better, and this will start a cycle of constant enjoyment and, you know, really better for everyone. Okay, I see some people getting a perfect thank you. It's better for everyone. Come to the front. There are still seats unoccupied. Corona's over. Just do it. Great. If you have a mobile device of any capacity, please switch it off now. Not vibrate, not another mode, actually switch it off altogether. Thank you. Now, this play will actually take a while, because you should get your money's worth. We'll be through at 11:15, meaning that you'll definitely get the last bus in either direction. There's a promise that works all of the time, and there's also going to be an interval of 15 minutes between the two acts. You'll survive. It'll be fine. You should get your money's worth. Also, one of our actresses actually fell ill and her throat got attacked, her voice. So if she would speak and act regularly, it could maybe damage it even further. So she will be quiet, but we gave her a microphone and we tuned it in a way that it will maybe take you only like a few minutes to get accustomed to that, you know, like a dialogue situation and one person has a microphone, the other doesn't. You won't even notice after a few minutes. It worked out very well, just if you're wondering. And that's it. Enjoy the show. Thank you all for being here. Oh, no. One last thing I want to forget. Given that this is the last show, some of our cast members may or may not have prepared some extra gags or some silly ideas. I don't know about that. So if things may appear extra strange, it's their fault. Enjoy the show.
LA is a funny place. You can walk from Boyle Heights to Santa Monica, never see a friendly face until you get muscled by some cigar-chomping, bead-faced member of the LAPD's bomb brigade, grinning at you as you take some brass knuckles to the sternum, and one for good measure in the chops. Times were simple back then. Everything seemed black and white to us. The name's Charlie Nichols, and I've been in this record for some time, but I never let anyone get to me. None of the hopheads or reefer man, the patsies or palookas, the gats or gunsels, none of them could shake what little faith I had left in humanity. It took a real special someone to make me want to forget who I was or wish I was someone else. Anyone else, anytime other than the here and now, anywhere other than Hollywood in 1947. Now this whole mess started like most of these things start, on a Monday. It was a regular Monday, the one that comes right between Sunday and Tuesday. The hours were crawling by like a sick cockroach. I was having a run of luck in my afternoon checkers game with my secretary Ida when we were rudely interrupted.
King me.
Again, a working girl can't catch a break. Charlie Nichols' office? He can't right now. It's too late in the day to take any calls. Charlie, this hoe wants to speak to you. She says she's rich.
How rich?
How rich? Oh, that rich, huh? She says she's Lady Clement.
Millionaire widow, Lady Clement. I'll take the call.
I knew some might not like seeing me around Clement Mansion. To be honest, most people don't like seeing me around in general. Enough of them have told me so with blunt instruments. Yeah, I'm a professional snoop. It's a tough job, but then I'm a tough guy. And snooping pays the bills, especially bill my landlord and bill my probation officer. Anyhow, I decided to take some buddies of mine with me, one to keep me safe and one to keep me entertained. They traveled very lightly. One of them traveled in a hip flask, the other one in a holster. Now they both were sure to get their fair share of action, but for now they had to stay put. Wouldn't want to scare away a rich lady and her money, would you? Now there's Lady Clement. She lived next to the university campus on a piece of property so big that from a distance you couldn't tell which was the house and which was the campus. The front door was wide enough to fit Stan Laurel and about 3 Oliver Hardys.
We're not interested.
Look, friend, you've got the wrong idea. I've got an appointment.
What for?
I'm the county dog catcher, and the police reported a stray poodle in the area.
Wise guy, huh?
Who is it, Shirley, darling?
It's one of them door-to-door types, Lady Claremont. You want I should give him the what for? Come here, get some. You wish.
Let me lay my eyes on him first. Well, whatever he's selling, I'll take a year's supply.
I'm Charlie Pickles, Miss Clement. You wanted to see me.
Yes, of course. Come in. Shirley, take Mr. Pickles' coat.
Excuse me. means, take my coat, Charlie. And, if you want, one of my pickles.
No, thanks.
What's your drink, Mr. Nichols?
I'll have what you're having.
A vodka martini?
Sure.
Shaken or stirred?
Shaken, please. Nice place you got here.
It better be. It's the largest non-military structure west of the Mississippi.
Not bad.
And the property is rich in history, too. The guest house was built on one ancient Indian burial ground, and the tennis court was built over a second. Oh, dread the luck. We're out of coconuts. Make yourself at home, Mr. Nichols. I'll be right back.
Mother, I swear this is the last time I want this. Father, come up to me. You're not mother.
Say, you're right. You ever think about being a PI?
I'm Veronica. You must be Charlie Nichols.
Must I?
They say you're the best private dick in the city.
I'll have to thank my publicist.
They also say you're a man of low morals and high ideals.
Looks like you've got a hitch in your pelvis.
It's the Pisano I got for Christmas. He gives, but he won't break.
Maybe you ride him too hard.
Maybe he's a big boy who needs to learn a lesson.
Maybe he's smart enough to teach you a thing or two.
Maybe he's a dumb buck who doesn't know what's good for him.
Maybe he'll get fed up and knock you on your butt.
Maybe I like it.
Coconuts! Coconuts for all! Oh, Veronica, love, I see you've met Charlie Nichols.
I was just leaving. I'd better be at the Pisano. You can join me if you want, Mr. Nichols. That is, if you know anything about pounding hay.
Did you just whistle at my daughter?
No. So what's this all about, Miss Clement?
As you know, Mr. Nichols, I'm an obscenely wealthy woman.
Yes.
Obscenely.
Uh-huh.
Really, 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 really.
Get to the point.
Someone's trying to kill me.
How do you know?
Let's call it a mother's intuition. Oh. And this note.
I'm going to kill you.
What do you think it means?
Can you think of anyone who would want you dead?
I can't imagine. Move me. Clive, aren't you going to say hello?
Hello.
Oh, Clive, really? Mr. Nichols, this is my son. I'd like to think of him as an idiot savant. Clive, this is Charlie Nichols. He'll be working for your mother.
Oh, I've heard of Mr. Nichols. His name frequently appears in scandal sheets. You want some peanut butter? I picked the peanuts myself.
Oh, Clive, really? Please don't bore our guests. And stand up straight. And try to walk with some confidence instead of mincing about on those little feet of yours. Have you fired Wilson like I asked?
Not yet, Mother.
What are you waiting for? You are so cowardly, Clive, and clingy, and annoying, and weird, and weak, lazy, and so stupid. I want that man fired immediately. I will not tolerate a criminal in our midst.
Mother, all he did was make a phone call.
A personal call while on duty.
He was calling the hospital. He was going into a diabetes coma because you replaced his insulin with corn syrup.
I don't care. It is the principle of the thing. And get that peanut butter out of your mouth. You know how I hate it when you eat directly out of the jar.
Now, if you are quite through, I must return to the library.
Again with those confounded books.
They're vital to my studies, Mother.
Tired old fops with no whit of manly vigor between them. I don't see why you bother. Honestly, you grate on me, so I don't know how I can stand it. If you weren't my son, I'd fire you too.
I hope you fall off the bridge.
Are you sure you can't think of anyone who would want you here.
Me? Nonsense. I have a heart as big as this menacing 75,000 square foot mansion.
Miss Claymont,
Jamie?
I have finished the garden by the reflecting pool as you asked.
Good. Now go home. You're fired.
Senora?
That's right. Fired. So you can take your things and that little hot tamale you've been seen with and clear out.
You mean my sister?
And make it quick, or I'll have you deported back to Mexico.
But I'm from Nicaragua.
You heard me? Either it's Mexico or nothing.
But why, senora? Why?
Don't think I don't know about the petunias.
Petunia, senora?
The other day, I saw a man looking just like you selling my petunias in front of Angelus Temple in Echo Park.
Never, senora.
You're lying to me, us both.
But senora, to be dismissed summarily like this, and in such a perfunctory manner, and just 1 week before completing my master thesis.
Jamie, please. I don't speak Mexican, and I can't bear to hear you throttle the English language with such vile impunity. Shirley, darling. Roughly escort Mr. Gutierrez from the premises.
With pleasure.
I will have my revenge, Lady Clement. You will pay for this. And the spirits of my sisters will mock your soul as the prices of the devil's pitchfork you gave me, Lady Clement. You will pay. You will pay.
Now, where was I?
You were describing the size of your heart.
I won't deny, Mr. Nichols, a woman of my stature has enemies, but I fear no one.
What about the Bengal diamond?
The Bengal diamond? That old legend? Why, Mr. Nichols, I think you have been reading too many of them.
Quit the hanky-panky! Don't think I don't know about the diamond.
But how could you?
For starters, it's in this very room.
Where?
There.
Where?
There.
Where?
There, in a display case.
That? Why, that could be anything.
Sure, it could be anything, but you made sure to put a plaque right next to this thing that says, the legendary Bengal diamond.
All right, Mr. Nichols, I'll admit it. That is the Bengal diamond, the most expensive diamond in the world.
I had a feeling.
Do you have any idea what a diamond of that magnitude is worth, Mr. Nichols?
I haven't a clue.
Have you ever heard of Jamaican lunacy?
I don't think I have.
The name Jamaican lunacy derives from the strange case of a man at the helm of the El Oro del Diablo, the pride of the Spanish Main, one Captain Rodrigo Azabafano. He was transporting the diamond from the King of Spain to a planter in the West Indies, but his lust for the cargo caused him to go so mad that his gums bled and he lost all his teeth.
Kinda sounds like scurvy.
If you're superstitious, perhaps. Determined to steal the diamond, Azabafano took up piracy and roamed the Caribbean for 4 years before he was captured by the Spanish Navy. But the captain of the ship who captured Azabafano also went insane and stole the diamond. And the next captain who captured the second captain did the same thing, and on for the next 150 years before it was falling into the hands of a Duke Thumbchuzzle of West Tipshire, England in 1772. In 1817, it was given to a Hindi prince in exchange for the Indian subcontinent, where it languished for the next 125 years. Oh, and it's cursed.
Where'd you get it?
From a man who loved me very deeply.
I'll bet.
You're a cynic. You've never been in love, Mr. Nichols?
Oh, I was in love once, but never again. Love is for suckers. So who was this boyfriend of yours?
I'm not at liberty to say.
Does it? Stop it! Stop it right now, you hear me? I don't know what game you've got cooked up for me, but I ain't playing. I've never much been one for games. Sure, I've played my fair share of Monopoly, but if you take me for a sucker, or sit by smiling while you fiddle with the dice, move the game pieces around while I'm not looking, and lie about the cost of hotels on Causeway Avenue, then I don't care if you're willing to trade me the Western Railroad, the Reading, and Marvin Gardens for Park Place. You know why? It's dames like you always start the game with Broadwalk. And if you got Broadwalk and Park Place, then it doesn't matter what cards anyone else is holding, they might as well be stuck in jail for the rest of the game. Shirley, my coat. Shirley, you deaf or something? Oh no, just blind.
Partially. You better watch your mouth, pal.
Oh yeah? Well, I'll take this. And you take that. I'd give you my card, but I can only afford so many. You can have my pickles, though. They're good.
Lady Claremont had me pegged as an underling, a patsy, a stooge, a lackey, a fool, a dumbass, a buffoon, an extra, waving palm leaves while she paraded through a courtyard of subjects. To add insult to injury, I saw someone in a 1041 Merc Coupe checking out the place. Someone who felt the urge to speed off the moment I tried to get a better look. Feeling like a glutton for punishment, I chose to eschew the boxing matches and nightclubs that consumed most of my evenings and returned to my apartment in the Altonito building on North Ivar. After a little light reading of the new Superman comics, which are really good, and a scotch and soda, I called it a night, hoping that tomorrow would be better. Well, it wasn't.
New records.
Huh? For what?
One meeting and she winds up dead. Usually, your clients don't get killed till we're 2 weeks into a case.
World famous Bengal diamond stolen. Oh no. Unlikable blue blood Lady Claremont found dead after fatal diamond heist beneath bridge in Echo Park. The fall was deadly. Whoever was driving that 41 Merc Coupe must have known I wouldn't be there to protect her. Now she's playing a harp, while I'm played for a fool.
Looks like we'll be working pro bono for a while.
I need more pickles.
Echo Park Bridge. There had been a hobo village under that bridge for a few years. The drive would take me an hour and I didn't know what I was gonna find there. But the hell of it. I was drunk and at least I could get a breath of fresh air and I could put the car in the expense account.
Charlie Nichols. I'm a private investigator, and I'm here to investigate a murder. Who are you?
What?
Listen, I'm not after you, but after those who killed Lady Claremont. I lost a potential client, and those don't come easy. Who are you?
I ain't no one. I just live beneath this bridge, you
mighty familiar.
Not me. I got no friends, no name, nothing.
I've seen you somewhere before, I just can't place it.
Well, you know, I'm like the wind mostly.
I do know you. You're Fist Johansson. I saw you contend for the flufferweight boxing title at the Olympic Auditorium in 1936.
No, dear mister.
You were up against Shins McGraw. Shins was the champ, but you were heavily favored.
I don't much follow the prize fights, you know.
You'd beaten Shins senseless for 5 rounds, and then, in the 6th, you tripped over your own shoelaces, fell on your face, and passed out. A riot broke out that night the LAPD couldn't contain for 3 days.
Okay. Yeah, you got me. I guess you can see why.
It was later proven you took money from the Cleveland team to throw the fight.
Well, I guess we've all done some things.
And then you were arrested for running a phony insurance company that ripped off old people?
Well, I have some real problems.
Oh, you escaped to Canada to avoid the draft. Then there were those rumors that you were running a sweatshop.
Well, I really feel bad.
You may or may not have hit your sister in the head with a rock several times, but that was never verified. And now it says that you got charges for being part of a puppy drowning ring.
Okay, I feel bad.
And now here you are, huh? All tough and high and mighty, with all that mob, senior citizen, and dead, drowning, watery puppy money won't help you much here, will it, tough guy?
Well, I guess I'm a loser.
All right then, tell me everything you know.
Well, yeah, it was last night, around midnight, when I've heard some ruckus going on over it.
Well, I'm here. This had better be good, as I'm missing out on having drinks from some very expensive coconuts. You'll be fine. You're a survivor. You land on your feet. That's not my problem now, is it? The nerve! If you're going to pull out that thing, you better have the guts to use it. I thought not. Wait a minute. Who's this? I thought you said you were coming alone. How dare you? My diamond! You left black. What are you doing? Get away from me, you hear me? Get away! Not the ledge. Not the edge of the bridge. Not the edge of the ledge of the bridge. You're not going to push me over. You are. You're going to push me over. You're pushing. I'm a witness. I'm about to fall.
Sounds pretty detailed.
Yeah, well, it was helpful.
Did she really give the play-by-play like that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Here.
A watch, huh? Geneva Brothers. Thanks, but I can't really accept this.
No, I think it's, what do you call it? Evidence. Yeah, I found it under the bridge, but evidently, they grabbed it before the police got here.
Thanks, Fists. You think you'll make it back into the ring someday?
Nah, I'm too crooked. Just.
Take care of yourself.
You.
The old Clement dame got out of my life. And out of hers, for that matter. But she did not get out of my case. Feeling satisfied with the information I gathered, I left Echo Park for Hollywood to see if the Claremont butler Wilson was accepting visitors. Drove my 1940 Buick LaSalle south on Wine, turned the left onto Fountain, and up to Wilson's house, where the old chap was already entertaining some company.
The way they taunted me, manipulated me, twisting every single word I was saying until I swore I was going mad. For 3 hours, those policemen grilled me. It made no sense. One of them would be very nice to me and even offer me a cigarette, and then the other would slam his fists down on the table and scream at me like I was a common criminal. It was almost as if they were playing an elaborate game of good constable, bad constable.
I'm going to say Professor Plum, the library with the candlestick.
Haven't you heard a word I've said?
I swear, sometimes you're so boring.
How can you play Cluedo at a time like this?
That does it. I'm looking in the envelope myself.
God damn it, she is dead! Her diamond is missing, and we are the chief suspects!
We are? There's no we. We? There's only you, and you know it. I'm the woman in red. I'm more of a phantom than a suspect.
What are you laughing at?
Do you know that if I walked out that door and fed the police the incriminating evidence they're looking for, you'd be finished? And I would be with another man, a real man, in no time, while you're dangling from a post in San Quentin with your little feet searching for some support to relieve the crushing sensation in your neck.
My God. You are evil! You haven't the faintest trace of human kindness anywhere in the soulless husk that you call your corporeal presence.
I never called it my corporeal presence. You called it that because you're British. You're British and you're weak.
Why? Why can't I be just done with you? You despicable, cruel woman.
Despicable? You think I'm despicable?
What do you take me for? You can cry all you like, but I shan't do your bidding any further. I will never again trust your black spirit.
You hate me. I don't blame you. I am evil. But I try to be good. I really do. But who has time these days? If only I could ever feel loved.
There. I'm sorry. You're not evil. I swear I've been such a bear lately.
Aren't I pretty? I wore this dress just for you, and you didn't even say anything.
Well, let me look at it. Why, it's lovely. It is.
Thank you.
I can't think of any girl I'd rather be on the run with than you.
Aw, you're sweet.
That's a warning, butler. Pay up, or next time you'll be paying up, but with bullets. I mean, with interest. And by interest, I mean bullets. And by paying up, I meant in your interest. Skull, in your skull. The bullets. There.
Oh, Adrian.
happened that I was polishing my old army revolver when it went off several times. Quickly now!
I was too busy dodging bullets to make out the hired beat with the Tommy gun. Like a good old mozzarella, I cheesed it before the cops arrived. Steering my Buick through the early evening rush hour, I reviewed the facts. There weren't many, so I needed a clue and I needed a drink. Both of them I needed fast, but only one of them I knew where to find.
You got a new hobby there, Ida?
Nah, writing samples. Last night I broke into the Clermont mansion and grabbed some papers from every room in the house to compare them to the old lady's death threats. After several hours of analysis, I've concluded the handwriting of those death threats belongs to none other than Clive Claremont.
Good work, doll.
Oh, and while I was there, I took a look at the tire treads in front of the house. The ones left by that cart that was watching you?
Uh-huh.
They were a lateral hash design from Goodyear.
Okay.
You know, lateral hash?
I didn't.
It's a type of tire that required a high-grade rubber and was discontinued in 1942 on account of the war. That means that car had been driven much in 5 years. On a hunch, I checked some retirement homes in the area, and the folks at the Happy Tiding home in Brentwood had a car stolen from one of their residents 2 weeks ago. A 1941 ton of cocaine.
Well, that takes care of the car.
What's that you got there?
I found it at the scene in Echo Park.
Geneva Brothers. Sounds fancy. Let me just check your jury database. So, let's see here. Classic 1920 Southern French design. Stainless clasp with non-elastic binding. DE. Here it is. This watch was purchased in Nelson's pawn shop on La Brand Olympic. Do you see these bloodstains?
The what?
The bloodstains.
Oh, of course.
I better run some tests and see if I can come up with anything.
Good thinking, Ida. You're a treasure. The best in the biz.
Good enough to join me for the new Catherine Hepburn picture at the Chinese this Thursday.
I'm on a case, baby. You know I got no time for the pictures.
Always a bridesmaid.
I'll make it up to you, sweetheart. In the meantime, call Clive Claremont for me.
I learned a love for the pictures. Just the other day, I read an article about the Navy developing three-dimensional pictures. Things popping out of the screen. Who the hell would want something like that? You'd scare away everyone. But then, people scoffed at the idea of colors and talkies, and look where we are now. As for me, I was at Tony's Liquor Lounge at 1517 Coanga Boulevard, just north of Sunset, for a little tete-a-tete with Clive Claremont.
It's true, I didn't get along too well with Mother. I suspect you've heard the gossip.
A little. I know you left her a note saying you were going to kill her.
Oh, those! Oh, we so enjoyed ribbing on each other.
And I know that despite all her wealth and the premature death of her husband in a Pennsylvania coal fire, she was notoriously cheap.
Wasn't as bad as all that.
She'd give you acorns for your birthday. That must have upset you.
Not particularly.
They were collected from the acorn tree outside your house.
It's the thought that counts, Mr. Nichols.
She didn't gather them herself. She'd make you do it.
But, you know, I mean...
And as an extra touch, Just so you didn't get spoiled, she'd make you give the acorns to charity, didn't she?
Monsieur, what's the point of all of this?
Did you kill your mother, Mr. Clement?
Of course not! How dare you, sir!
Listen here, Lord Fauntleroy. I know the death of your mother must have been hard on you, but no one raises their voice to Charlie Nichols. And now, with the 50 million simoleons you look to inherit due to your old lady's untimely running with the business end of a Smith & Wesson, you have hit the top of the LAPD's most likely prep school flunky to ice their mother's list. So either you play straight with me, or you keep cracking wise and get yourself fitted for a new pair of striped pajamas. Peace.
I'm sorry, Mr. Nichols. I apologize if I acted untoward.
Don't worry about it.
No, it was you making a rumpus.
Louis, Henry, didn't know you two mugs were still working here.
Look, Nichols, we don't want no trouble.
No trouble, huh? That's good, because my friend and I could use some pickle juice.
Your money's no good here.
Boss won't take it, Charlie, you know that.
Tony is getting mighty particular in his old age.
Tony's always looking out for trouble.
Your money always comes up counterfeit.
Tony forgets he owes me one. If it weren't for me, he'd be tending gardens in Folsom Prison instead of running a classy joint like this.
Boss don't see it that way.
Just get me a drink. I'll take a Manhattan, and Junior here will have a chocolate milk.
No! Make that 2 Manhattans! I assure you I can handle my liquor, Mr. Nichols. I've been to university.
2 Manhattans, and you better not stir in any narcotics again. This should take care of it.
What's the big idea?
Gee, Charlie, this stuff don't look very real to the casual observer. It's got the little choo-choos on the front.
It ain't even green.
What's green? Well, just beat it and make with the liquor.
Okay, but the boss ain't gonna like this.
Wise guy.
Now, tell me everything you know about the Bengal diamond.
It's the only 300-carat red diamond in the world. Mother got it as a gift from an Indian Raja when she saved his life.
I remember that. Didn't he have a heart attack?
Mother was there on business when he collapsed mid-conversation. She rushed over to his side to give him some aspirin. He recovered immediately since it turned out to be only a tummy ache, but he was so convinced that she had saved his life that he insisted she keep the diamond as a gift. Ironically, he died 3 days later from an allergic reaction to aspirin.
Isn't the diamond supposed to be cursed?
Oh yeah, and it's cursed. They call it the 95-year curse. Every owner of the diamond going back 7 centuries dies at the age of 95 years or older in their sleep.
Spooky.
Despite this horrifying curse, Mother insisted on keeping it.
Your drinks, gentlemen.
Thanks, doll.
Will a glass do, young man, or shall I get you a sippy cup?
No, see!
Hold it! Junior?
Haven't I met you somewhere before?
I don't know. Was it someplace a cheap line like that works?
I swear I've seen her somewhere before.
I work a lot of clubs in town. The Havana Club, Ruby Grove, the Taffy Hill. Sometimes I read in kindergartens. And on Wednesdays I play the vibraphone and never can just bubble and hunt.
I saw that show. She did the whole number with 6 pounds of bananas on her head. Handled the muddits like she was carving a turkey.
I like whacking small metal bars with soft little hands.
That wasn't as dirty as I anticipated.
Well, stick around. It's looking to get a whole lot dirtier.
Ladies and gentlemen, the dulcet tones of Miss Velma are en rouge.
If you'll excuse me, gentlemen, enjoy the show.
they will put you out. What don't you do right? Like some other men do. Get out of here. Get me some money too. Now if you had prepared 20 years ago, you wouldn't be wandering now from door to door. Why don't you do right like some other men do? Get out of here. Get me some money too. Get out of here. Get me some money too. Why don't you do right? Yeah. Like some other man do.
Goodness, it tastes like pickles! What's in there?
Nothing you'll find at any of your universities.
What did you think?
She made me feel funny in my pants.
Not you. Him.
What do you need my opinion for? You don't know me.
I know you're Charlie Nichols.
Is that so?
I know you're a private detective and you've been looking all over Los Angeles for a lead on the Bengal Diamond case.
Sounds like you're quite the private eye yourself. Anything you can clue me in on?
You're a fool, Charlie. Every two-bit hood and Snoopy McSnoopkins in Los Angeles has been trying to crack this case. What makes you think you can do any better?
Suppose I told you I knew who the killer was.
Suppose I didn't believe you.
Suppose that broke me up inside.
Suppose you went roller skating to forget your troubles.
Suppose I went roller skating, fell and skinned my knee.
Suppose I kissed your boo-boo and made it all better.
Suppose it wasn't my boo-boo you were kissing.
Charlie, it's Tony. Excuse me, Miss Livingston.
That's all right, Louis. What is it?
It's Tony. He's awful mad about the funny money emanating from your table, Charlie. Oh, and Miss Livingston, he said that he was fed up with your shenanigans, said you were a no-good tramp, and if he ever saw your face again, he'd kill you, dame or no dame. I never seen him like this. You want my 2 cents? If I were you, Nichols, I'd consider spending your fake dimes elsewhere and retreating to your quarters for now. So, y'all should better skedaddle. Well, I should book it too. I can't be seen with you.
We best get out of here too, or next time you'll smile at me through a fat lip.
Let that big monkey try it.
I wouldn't push my luck if I were you. Can you get home all right?
I don't have a car. I can't drive.
You can come with us. Come on.
Mr. Nichols! Mr. Nichols! I've got it now. I know where I've seen Miss Livingston before. It was on the night of the murder. I was across the street at the library when she bumped into me, causing me to drop my books. She seemed rather nervous, and
Take it easy. None of that. Kid!
That man's been stabbed.
He's got a knife! He's got a knife! Someone! Stop him now!
Yes, someone grab him!
Charlie, what happened?
Clive's been murdered. Where were you?
I was just outside talking to someone when a strange man held a knife at me. I was just able to get out of the way.
Why won't someone stop him?
He's right there. Someone should stop him.
We call the police! I'll just grab him! He's just a couple feet away!
Charlie, let's get out of here. Someone's trying to kill me. Run, Charlie, run!
I'll run for now. But no one frames Charlie Nichols, you hear me? No one.
Clive Clement, murdered. Just 48 hours, he went from ne'er do well to captain of industry to the losing player in a game of knife in the back patty cake. As for the girl, Mona Livingston, the moment I saw her, I knew I had to have her. She walked into my life legs first, and boy, those were some legs. She was a Chardonnay with truffles, in my life of cheap whiskey and cigarettes. Her eyes were green like an opal, her skin was pale like ivory, and her lips were red like hot lava. She was an Italian flag in occupied territory, and I fell for her like Paris. Whatever it was, she had a hold on me like a Wolverine on a moose.
You can sleep in the bedroom. I'll take the couch.
I can't stay here. I have work in the morning.
Look, I know it's not the Roosevelt, but it should be okay for a high-class dame like yourself. And as for Tony's liquor lounge, consider yourself laid off.
Well, this is entirely uncalled for, and I won't stand for it.
Get away from that door. You'll stay put, and you'll light it. You just witnessed the murder, and I was seen holding the murder weapon. That makes you an accomplice. Simple math. And as for Tony's, make yourself scarce. Whatever you did to him, get him mighty steamed. And if you go back there, they'll greet you like a giraffe at a vampire convention.
Oh, Charlie, how could this have happened? That poor boy. Why, Charlie, why?
Look, I'm sorry you had to get caught up in all of this, but right now there's about 100 flatfoots out there dying to get their hands on yours truly. So we just have to stay put.
How long do we have to be holed up like this?
I don't know.
Well, Mona, you've really done it this time. Wait till the gang back in Tulsa hears about this.
What does it matter what they hear back in Tulsa?
You don't know Mona Livingston. She's always got a story. There's the one she tells about a small town girl who comes out to California so she can become a big movie star. Only maybe she doesn't get so big so fast, see? And she's got to tell the gang back home something. So she makes up the story that she changed her name to Lana Turner. Only maybe now the gang is not so sure Mona's telling the truth. On account of that she's got black hair and she's a little shorter. This Mona had to keep writing home asking for money, and Lana Turner's pretty rich. And the return address on the envelope said Mona Livingston. Charlie.
except me when I'm sad. Right then. Stop it! Stop it right now, you hear me? You gotta be strong. I don't care if you're Lana Turner in disguise, or Mona Livingston, and broke and unemployed. I don't care about your friends, or if you're a joke or not, or if you're the most unpopular loser from Tulsa, Oklahoma. You know why?
Why?
Because right now you're with me, and I happen to think you're a pretty swell kid. You're trembling.
I guess I'm just nervous. I've never been this close to a world-famous detective or something.
I'm not so world famous once you get to know me.
Oh, wow, a complete breakfast. How splendid. They say breakfast is the most important meal of the day, but I never have it. Who has time these days?
How's your eggs, Mona?
Just perfect. Hard on the outside and soft on the in. And the orange juice. We owe a lot to oranges when you think about it. They give us so much and ask for so little in return. Charlie, who is it?
I don't know. You'd better go hide in the other room.
What are they gonna...
Hurry! Who's there?
Charlie, it's me, Dewey. Open up.
Oh. Come in, fellas. Dewey? Jonesy?
Top of the morning.
Charlie. Smells good. Ooh, hard boiled. What else you got cooking?
Just some breakfast. Supper, Joe?
No time, Charlie. No time.
Kinda busy.
Yeah. Kinda busy, you see, on account of this murder took place last night.
Murder, huh?
Yeah. Seeing some blue blood will get well cast in the form of a knife.
Only it was in his back, so it didn't make him well so much as, you know,
Dead.
yeah, dead.
So, Charlie. You wouldn't happen to know anything about that, would you?
Jeez. That's awful. What is this world coming to?
It's going down the drain, I said.
Victim's name was Clive Claremont, and the whole solid affair took place last night at Tony's Liquor Lounge.
Place you've been out to frequent from time to time?
Not anymore, lads. In case you haven't heard, Tony and I are on the outs. The only thing I'd get served there is a clop in the chops.
Sure, only we got witnesses saying they saw someone looking just like you, holding the kid in one hand and a bloody knife in the other.
So you can see why we might want to ask you what happened.
You two have been reading too many dime novels. I wasn't there last night. I was at the office, reorganizing my to-do files.
To do what? Murder a kid?
I don't have to take that from you! Come here!
Easy! Easy!
Oh, let him go, Jonesy. Let him go. Maybe when we throw him in the cooler for assaulting a police officer, he will tell us all about the murder and that girl he was with.
What girl?
You know who I'm talking about. That girl you were seen with last night. Mona Livingston.
A real looker.
Yeah, pretty. Nice legs. Nice lips. And she would have known the victim pretty well since she had been chatting up his sister.
Veronica Claremont.
The waitress been dipping her beacon with Miss Claremont nightly for the past several weeks. At Tony's, except for that one night.
Yeah, the night of the murder, little Miss Claremont was seen having a tete-a-tete with some geezer.
Livingston wasn't there for that.
Yeah. So, kind of curious that Livingston wasn't at a regular table with Veronica Claremont the night the old lady gets shot and thrown off the bridge.
Funny coincidence then, huh?
But she was seen with you last night.
Was a cocktail waitress at Tony's and some beautiful, young, strapping man gets a knife in his back and she's gone.
Well, what do I know about some working girl? I don't do human resources for Tony's. You two can wisecrack somewhere else.
Oh yeah? Well, then why do you have 2 plates of eggs?
What are you driving at?
You see that, Jonesy? 2 plates.
Yeah. Fresh fried eggs, aromatic coffee, brown crispy toast. 2 of each. Breakfast for a king and his queen.
A regular smorgasbord.
Oh, that does it!
Oh, Jay, look out! Eggs!
I just want to enjoy my breakfast, see? Maybe after working all night at the office, I'd like to indulge in a double helping of breakfast without getting interrupted at 8:30 in the morning by a couple of slow-witted flatfoots with chips on their shoulders because they're stuck on another case that if they screw up will be their 12th unsolved murder case in a row, ensuring them a bust back down to sergeant and a career of rousting railroad bums for extra cash so they can get a little something for their spouses to help them forget they're married to the dullest, most pathetic, stupid, moronic dicks on the force.
Gee, Charlie, I told you that in confidence.
Yeah, we're only bantering with you, Charlie.
Take your banter somewhere else. It bores me.
All right. We're going. Egg on enough.
Just let us know if you find out anything, Charlie.
You'll be lucky if you get a Christmas card.
Are those awful people gone?
Yeah.
Thank goodness! What would I do without you, Charlie? I can almost count on you in a crisis. That's what I like about you. You're quick on your feet, and that'll help us if we have to leave town and get away from the police. Just think how romantic, Charles. We can move to my cousin's place in San Bernardino. You can support us by working odd jobs, and I can stay home and bake cookies all day. And maybe some pecan pie. Then, if there's a counter here, we can...
Climb up, will you?
Charlie, why are you throwing eggs at me?
Help me, she says. Oh, that poor boy, she says.
Are you mocking me?
Tell me about Veronica Claremont.
Veronica who?
You said you were afraid someone was trying to kill you. You didn't tell me you were bosom chums with the victim's sister. That same sister who just inherited 100 million.
Wait, you don't understand.
You're involved in this thing deeper than you let on. How? And don't feed me any more stories about Tulsa and how lonely you are.
But I'm so lonely.
What do you know about the Claremons?
Charlie, you're right. I deserve your scorn. I'm terrible liar sometimes, I know I am. But it's only because I've never been this close to death. And the boy and the knife.
Look, Mona. Oh, those pickles. I'm not the police, but I can't help you if you don't level with me.
Veronica Clement started coming into Tony's on a regular basis about 6 weeks ago. She intimidated the regulars, but she seemed very sweet to me, vulnerable.
Did she talk about her mother much?
Not really. Funny though, when she did talk about her mother, she'd kind of clench her teeth. And then she'd grab a napkin and tear at it. Then she might absent-mindedly claw at the napkin, cocktail steer, like she was kind of torturing it out of some build-up desire for revenge. Funny.
Who's the older man she was with?
Which one?
That, the sad one.
I don't know. They seem to be talking about something very important, and I didn't want to bother them.
You never saw Clive before last night.
No, she always came alone.
And what about this butler? What about him?
A butler? I don't know anything about a butler.
And did you ever talk about the Bengal diamond?
I swear, I never heard of the diamond until it was in all the papers. Where are you going?
I've got to get to work.
Charlie, don't leave me.
Don't worry, baby. You just help yourself to anything that's in the icebox. We got a couple of eggs and pickles right here. And I'll be back this afternoon.
Wait, do you believe me? It's very important that you do.
I believe you, baby.
Do you love me?
Call my office if you need anything.
Mona Livingston. She was as tough to figure out as a jigsaw puzzle made out of soap in the blistering rain. Yeah.
Ida, Nichols.
Charlie Nichols. As I live and breathe, you know you're late. And if you weren't my boss, I'll fire you.
You're a taskmaster, Ida. Listen, I was hoping to stop by the office later.
I wouldn't do that if I were you.
Why not?
Because a couple of good-humored men from Tony's were here this morning to pay you a visit. I told them you weren't going to be in today, but they hung around the office for 20 minutes, polishing brass knuckles and flossing with piano wire.
Is that so?
So you might want to stick to house calls for a while, till the heat cools off. Oh, and I have a message for you.
Who is it?
He didn't say, but he's afraid his life's in danger, and he needs to see you right away. He lives in La Loma in Chavez Ravine.
Locking horns with some goons wouldn't have been my first rodeo, but maybe Ida was right. Maybe the chips were stacked against me, and I should lay low for a while. But then, the case wouldn't solve itself, would it? So I had to use my wits, and I had to outsmart them. So I took my time, thinking very long, thinking very hard, walking back and forth like a tiger in a cage, thinking some more, thinking even harder and longer, trying to come up with a solution. And who knew this solution would come to me in the form of a muscle-packed alien in a spandex bodysuit? You know who I'm talking about. Superman. Or rather, Clark Kent. Point is, if some extraterrestrial being could fool the whole world by putting on some glasses, I should be able to do the same with some dim-witted goons. Lucky for me, I knew Doug Acme, costume shop owner just down the road who owed me one. And he gave me something every aspiring Miss America dreams of. Total makeover. Now, if anyone were to recognize me after that, they would have to be some kind of PI themselves.
Hello?
Come in, Senor Nichols.
How do you... Never mind.
Sit down, por favor.
Jamie, right?
Sí, Jaime Gutiérrez. Lo siento. I'm sorry for the... Ay, venga, ¿cómo se dice? Premonitori circumstances.
Don't mention it.
Can I get you some tea? I have chamomile.
No, thanks. I'd rather pickle. I'm in a bit of a hurry.
Of course. My life, it seems it may be in danger. So it behoves us both if this mystery is, how you say, resolved expeditiously.
Yeah, me too. I understand you have some information?
Sí, señor. Ay, Dios mío. Sorry. Lo siento. I was in Echo Park the night of the murder. I was in front of the Angelus Temple, as I'm every night sending petunias to the passerby.
I knew it!
When I saw Clive Clement leaving the library.
Thank you, Mrs. Hutchinson, for keeping the library so open, so late in the evening.
Oh, Clark, you're such a charming, slightly stupid boy.
That went well. I found the chance I wanted, and one can never read too much ballsack. My, what a harrowing scream, and then a splashing sound. A woman must have been alarmed by the sound of a car backfiring, and then panicked and threw a bucket of water on a tailpipe. But why would someone carry a bucket of water in their car? I wonder if they left the library open. Ah!
What shit, stupid?
Excuse me, princess, but I believe you owe me an apology.
Get out of my way.
My, you're sweating.
I said move it!
I wonder where she was off to in such a hurry.
And you couldn't make out who the girl was?
No, senor. There was just enough to light to see everything except that.
Thanks for the tip, Jamie. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Yes, I had better get to work myself. I need to pack my things. The city is still in downtown Scavine. The paving process is to begin in 4 days.
I heard about that. That's a tough break.
It's not so bad. My little home will provide parking for up to 3 cars.
Is it true they're planning on building a ballpark here?
No, just parking.
Well, adios.
Adios, Senor Pickles.
I returned to Glenwood Mansion, climbed the fence in the back, and got a look at the yard. It was big. Biggest backyard I'd ever seen. It did a menagerie, a botanical garden, a golf course, a miniature golf course, a racetrack, a miniature racetrack, an airport, a pickle farm, and the river winding through a man-made forest of pine trees and stuffed elk until it reached the back of the house where 20 Greek gods were spitting chlorinated water into a pool the size of a rose bowl. And standing by that pool, stretching, was a living goddess. One Veronica Claremont.
Are you going to say something, or are you just going to stand there watching me stretch?
I've been waiting for you to stop, but it's taken 15 minutes. Do you mind if I ask you a few questions?
Is this where I get grilled?
Excuse me?
Isn't that what they call it in your profession, Mr. Nichols? Grilling a suspect?
I suppose.
Or are you going to give me the business? I don't know if I could handle it.
I think you could.
I might crack under the pressure.
I'd like to see that.
Could you tell if I was lying? Sure. I bet you have a natural sense of when someone is taking you for a ride. Is that something they teach you in detective school, or do you have to be born with it?
I guess I'm pretty good at reading lips.
Is that so? Read these. Well, what were they saying?
Inconclusive. I'll need a follow-up.
Now?
I think they're trying to tell me your whereabouts on the night of your mother's murder.
I was trying to find a Pisana, Brutus.
I saw you just that afternoon and you'd just finished riding him. How often do you ride that horse?
For your information, Mr. Pickles, I own 6 Lipizzaner stallions, 3 thoroughbreds, 2 greyhounds, and 1 rooster for cockfights. Each one requires several hours of work at all times, day and night.
Tell me, how do you tend to all that livestock and still prowl seedy bars at night?
Seedy bars?
Look here, baby. I know you spend every evening for the past 6 weeks throwing back cocktails with dead-enders at Tony's Liquor Lounge.
So you can peddle your wares somewhere else, because I'm not buying. Mr. Nichols, where do you get these tawdry rumors?
You were there that night, weren't you?
I was. After I read Brutus at about 9 o'clock, getting home at 3 the next morning.
You weren't alone. You were with a man, an older man.
I'm always with older men.
You knew this man intimately. Who was he?
I was with Wilson, our butler. He was in the market for some tea and sympathy, so I thought it obliged.
You make social visits with him often?
Just once before, at Tony's, 2 days previous. He's been in our family since I was a child. Taught me how to ride horses, and how to train roosters.
What did you talk about?
Mostly we talked about mother. You may not know this, Charlie, but he and my mother were lovers once. To mother it was a fling, but he was desperately in love with her. When he arrived at Tony's that night, he was very upset and very drunk.
Did he leave with you?
We talked for a couple hours. He made a crude pass at me, as all men do, eventually. Then excused himself and went home. He's a good man. He knew my father in the First World War.
They served together?
Father was a colonel in the army, and Wilson was a corporal in an English butler battalion. After the war, he came to work for us.
Did you ever notice anything suspicious?
Not particularly. Oh, he kept a snub-nosed revolver 45 in the pantry.
Is that standard issue for English butlers?
He only needed it because he had $75,000 in in gambling debt, and people were always threatening to kill him.
Who threatened to kill him?
I don't know. I remember these two thugs to come by every few months and break and then re-break his legs.
Do you know who they were working for?
I heard them threatening him sometimes, but I had trouble making out who sent them. It was something Seagull. Seagull? Seagull. Bugsy? Something?
That could be anyone.
Listen, Charlie, I know my unorthodox way of dealing with the loss of two close family members by scratching by the pool isn't the best way to evoke sympathy, but
You just keep on stretching, sweetheart, and I'll find whoever killed Clive and your mother.
Is that the asshole with the pickles?
oh my, Charlie!
I told you what would happen if you showed your face around here again.
You should get out of here. All these murders have made him awfully jumpy.
I'll be back later.
I'll be waiting.
I stepped out into the streets. For the first time in a long while, it was raining. It seemed like a metaphor to me, but then I'm not a man of big metaphors. I reviewed the facts one more time. There weren't many more, so that the questions poured down on me like the rain. And I had a hunch that before all of this was over, I'd be sorry I had asked those questions. But hey, at least the pieces of the puzzle were slowly falling into place.
Hey, doll.
Oh, hiya, Charlie.
Looks like our butler's got a little gambling problem.
Yeah, 75
He's in
large.
debt to the tune of... Yeah. What's my little bookworm working on now?
Clues, Charlie.
Again?
Oh, you know me, Charlie. I love a good snooze.
What do you got?
You know that girl Mona you can see?
I can tell right now, sweetheart, that's a dead end. She had nothing to do with this.
Well, I know the police were looking for her, so I thought I'd do a little following up.
Uh-huh.
You know how Veronica and the butler had drinks the night of the murder?
Yeah, just found out.
Well, I thought it was pretty likely Mona maybe struck up a friendship with the guy.
Impossible. She told me herself she never met him.
I wanted to get a precise time the butler was at Tony's, so went rummaging through his trash can and found 5 bottles of gin, 4 bottles of sweet vermouth, and 4 bottles of Campari, as well as several orange twists. You know what that means?
No.
He's an alcoholic.
Ah.
And a Negroni man. Last night, dressed as Shelley, an androgynous convent persona invented for whenever I need information, I managed to sneak into Tony's office, hit Tony in the head with a blackjack, and ripple through their receipts going back to days. And wouldn't you know it, on the night of the murder, between 9:30 and midnight, one tab had 5 Negronis and 3 champagne cocktails.
Wilson and Veronica.
That tab was closed out at 12 sharp, but at the same time, at a table in the back, a new tab was started that had 3 Negronis and 2 wine spritzers. And guess whose shift ended at midnight?
I don't know.
Mona Livingston. And 2 days before, the same thing. And same 6 p.m. to 12 a.m. shift for Mona both nights.
I don't know, Ida. That seems pretty circumstantial.
I thought so too. But then I went to the library to look for some more synonyms like you asked me to. And then I had a sudden hunch and found these.
The Bengal Diamond. Memoirs of Lord Thumbshussle, a diamond collector. And Diamond Theft Made Easy. So,
Those the LA Central Library on the Bengal diamonds and diamond facts. And look who last. Check them out.
And Livingston. Why that little? Hold my calls, Ida. I might be out for a while.
I was mad. Real mad. So mad I could taste it. Last time I trusted a dame was in Paris in 1940. She said she was going out to get a bottle of wine. 2 hours later, the Germans marched into France. Germans. I hate those guys. I don't know if the French had learned their lesson. I clearly hadn't. But if your head says one thing, and your whole life says another, your head always loses. I knew I hadn't started this thing, but now it was up to me to finish it.
Well, that's just too bad, isn't it? We're all frightened. We all get shot at sometimes. Suck it up and be there at 7 o'clock sharp. I'll hunt you down and wring your neck myself.
Anyone I know?
Frank Collin.
You sounded pretty upset.
They shouldn't. It's just rude, you know?
You know what else is rude?
A riddle, Charlie? I just love word games. Tell me, Charlie, what else is rude?
Dames who lie through their teeth to get what they want.
I don't get it. Is this one of those daily jumbles?
Tell me everything you know about the Clams. Who? I know for a fact you met the butler at least twice, so why did you lie to me?
Because I don't think we were properly,
Who is it?
Hey, Charlie, it's me, Louis. Can I come in?
How do you? Never mind. Get out of Louis, we're busy.
I got orders to bust the door down, Charlie, and I'd like to avoid that if possible.
It's open.
Hi, Nichols, I gotta... Oh, excuse me, Miss Livingston.
That's all right, Louis.
Nichols, you gotta come with me. The boss says I'm to pound on you if you don't cooperate.
You tell Tony if I so much as sneeze, he'd better hire a high-priced attorney.
It ain't Tony, Charlie. I got other bosses. I'm what you call an independent contractor.
You tell whoever it is I'm not at home.
I'm afraid he insists.
Buzz up, will ya? I'm busy.
Oh, well. I hate to do this to you, Charlie. You ain't seen nothing, Miss Livingston. Let's go, Charlie.
Dear audience, we'll return to Los Angeles and Charlie Nichols' Tale of Woe after an interval of 15 minutes. Drinks and refreshments are available. Thank you.
Someone's trying to kill me.
They say you're the best private dick in the city.
I will have my revenge, Lady Clement. You pay.
It's got the little choo-choos on the front.
The Bengal diamond? That old legend?
The Bengal diamond.
The Bengal diamond?
The Bengal diamond!
The only 300-carat red diamond in the world.
Trip the luck. We're out of coconuts. How dare you?
They call it the 95-year curse.
I'm losing balance. I'm about to fall.
Haven't I met you somewhere before?
I like whacking small metal bars with soft little hammers.
I noticed she seemed rather nervous and...
Someone's trying to kill me. Run, Charlie, run!
Veronica Claremont.
The waitress been dipping her beak with Miss Claremont nightly at Tony's for the past several weeks.
My back's the only part of my whole body that doesn't smell like a pina colada.
Funny coincidence, eh?
Damn the drain ass says.
I swear, I never heard of the diamond until it was in all the papers.
The Bengal diamond?
He kept a snub-nosed revolver 45 in the pantry.
If you're selling fuller brushes, I'm not interested. Ooh, my head.
My associate said you took some convincing last night.
You made a persuasive argument.
You were mumbling all morning. You must have had some crazy dreams bouncing around in that overactive noodle of yours.
Sure, dreams.
Would you like a beer? Or perhaps a raspberry phosphate?
What do you want from me?
Do you know who I am?
Why would I? I don't subscribe to Sheep Thug Weekly.
Yeah. Louis, work on him.
Hey, Charlie. Tense up your ribs. Clench your jaw.
Too bad your head's not as smart as your mouth. Louis, untie him and leave us alone a minute.
Sure thing, boss.
You know who I am.
You're Bugsy Siegel. What of it?
Word is, you got a nose for diamonds.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Look, Nichols, I don't like to go after hard-working stiffs like you. It's not in my nature. But as a successful businessman, I gotta get results. Ergo, the beat is. Have you ever heard about the Bengal diamond?
It's a big shiny stone.
To the uneducated, perhaps. Ever hear about the Kerala madness?
Sounds like I have.
The story goes that about 100 years ago, an Indian prince named Wahili Samadhi stole the diamond from his old man to give it to this maiden he'd been pining for. He was on his way to give the diamond to his true love when the elephant he was riding on went sugar, threw him to the ground, stamped on him, and then fed him to some tigers who were waiting at the side of the road, as if the whole thing were a setup. When the maiden came out looking for him, all she found was his hand clutching the diamond. Oh yeah, and it's cursed.
You sure you want this diamond?
I need this diamond, Nichols. I need the money real bad. And I've already extorted all I can from my friends and relations.
What do you need this money so bad for you're willing to mess with some cursed rock?
'Cause I got a vision, Nichols. I see things. Great things.
I got an eye doctor I can recommend.
Oh, ha, ha, ha. It's been a rough few years for my people. You know that?
Sure, I read the papers.
But do you know what it's like not having a home? Do you know what that means to a people? Knowing you're not wanted? Think of it. Everywhere you go, everyone you turn to treats you like a stranger. We've been kicked out of every nation on earth and forced to wander deserts, the world round for centuries. But not no more. In 1948, we're establishing a homeland, a safe haven for my people. We'll run it, we'll defend it, and from now on there ain't gonna be anyone telling us what to do.
Yeah, that's great. So you're gonna give the diamond to Israel.
Israel? What are you talking about? You must be getting me confused with someone.
Wait, weren't you talking about the Jewish people?
The Jews? No. I'm talking about gangsters. And now they need a homeland. What does that have to do with the... Oh, I got it now, okay. In retrospect, I see how that might have sounded confusing. Allow me to clarify. Louis! Come on, boy, chop. I don't got all day. Oh, come. You ever been to Las Vegas? Nevada?
I think I've got a hangnail removed there once.
No more. Charlie Nichols. Take a look at the Las Vegas of the future.
Hey, that's a pretty good rendering. That's not a volcano, is it?
It sure is. And artificial lakes, and pools, and reefs, and a ski resort made out of cotton candy, or rigged by a mold of crocodiles. For those who don't pony up the $50 to enter town.
Sounds classy.
All these things you see here, the solid gold roller coaster, the Trevi fountain that runs on champagne, the holding tanks filled with performing killer dolphins. They all run up quite a bill, and my investors are just about tapped out.
That's why you need that diamond so bad.
I was hoping it to purchase it from Lady Clement herself. I would have made her an offer she couldn't have refused.
How?
With some rather embarrassing information about the Clement home life.
Blackmail, but with what?
As you know, we've been taking that butter they got there, Wilson, to the woodshed about the 75 G's he owes us. And if you break a guy's legs enough, he'll tell you all sorts of things. His love life, for example.
I know all about him and the old lady.
Oh, if it were only that simple.
Ain't it?
Not when there's a kid involved. That butler spent 20 years slaving away for puff pastries for his own daughter, and she didn't even know.
Veronica Clement.
After the old man got buried by 300 tons of burning coal in the 20s, Lady Clement needed a little comfort in a time of grief and ends up with a kid.
And she's too much of a blue blood to ever admit her butler's the father. So he drowns his sorrows in booze and gambling while scheming for a way to get back at the woman, keeping him from his own daughter. But if you're so sure Wilson did it, and he's got the diamond, what do you want from me?
Didn't you say you read the papers? The butler's gone missing. The last we seen of him was when he shut up his place with the Tommy gun.
I don't know why it disappeared like that.
If you get me the diamond nickels, I'll give you a percentage of my casino and make sure the police are off your tracks. This is an excellent opportunity for you, Mr. Nichols.
Yeah, I guess. yes, opportunity knocks with a punch in the gut.
It was all starting to make sense. The doe eyes, constant stretching, making like the damsel in distress, when the whole time she was playing me like a harmonica. I didn't like the sound of that. It must have been Veronica hiding out with Wilson the night Buxy's man shut up his place. Don't I look pretty, she says. What'll we do, she says. All nice and helpless like a fly in a bowl of tomato soup. Only this fly is a black widow, and the soup she's in ain't made of tomato pulp and salt, but a concoction of chicken stock, garlic, and dreams of melted gold and diamond-flavored revenge.
Take a powder. The lady and I need to talk.
I don't like your attitude, you private dick face.
Which part of my attitude you got a problem with? This part? Or this part?
What's the meaning of this?
You're gonna spill it, and you're gonna spill it good, understand?
What are you talking about?
Sit down, Scooter. Your smart talking, big city dame in the body of a life and innocent, world-class polo jockey act might work with your debutante friends and high-collared snuff addicts. But if you don't spill it to me straight in the next 5 minutes, I'll have the NAPD pass on you, then Senator McCarthy on a commie Democrat.
I swear, I've told you everything I know.
Tell me everything about the butler.
What? Tell you what?
Tell me.
Charlie, please.
Tell me.
Charlie!
Tell me everything about Wilson. I want the truth. The truth.
I don't know anything else.
Stop lying and start talking.
I don't know anything else.
Easy, easy. You don't know what I'm talking about, do you?
I don't. And I don't know why you're doing this, Charlie.
There's really nothing else you can tell me about the butler? Well, funny story. Just got back from Buxy Siegel's place. He's the guy the butler owed all that money to, and, over the course of the last few months, he told Buxy Scoons that he, the butler, was your father.
Wilson?
Yeah.
Wilson's my father?
I'm awful sorry I had to find out this way. I really thought you already knew. Otherwise, I wouldn't have kept slapping you like that.
Wilson, my father.
That's something, isn't it?
So, that night at the club, when he was so sad and distraught, it was over me?
That's the looks of it.
All this time, never known a father. I'm so fortunate we've been given this chance to start anew. You've given me quite a gift, Mr. Nichols.
Don't mention it.
All the things I do. Think of it. A whole lifetime to catch up on. Poor father. What he must have gone through. Suffering every day. Just to watch over me and make sure I was brought up right. Well, no more suffering, Father. We'll make it right, you and I. We will both finally have what we've always wanted. You, your place in the world, and I will have a father.
Hope you haven't come to arrest me again.
Now, Charlie, you're off the hook in light of recent developments.
We found that butler you've been looking for.
Wilson, you found him?
Yeah, you could say that.
Where is he?
Mostly off Laurel Canyon Boulevard, just north of Mulholland.
But his brains are sort of scattered all over.
I mean, he's
Deader than a doornail.
Brains all scattered.
All over.
Jeez, it's gotta be her.
Look, fellas, picked a bad time for this.
Anyway, we gotta take a look at this, Charlie.
What a mess.
There he is.
Still dead.
And there's some of his brains. And there, and there, and there.
This all seems strangely familiar. Killed by a 41 Merc Coupe, the same car I saw on the night of the murder. You find him like this?
Yeah.
I thought you said it was a suicide.
He drove off a cliff, Charlie.
Yeah, there he is. There's the car. What else do you need?
He's under the car, Jonesy. A guy doesn't have an accident, fall out of the car, and have it roll over him.
Oh, this one did, and we got proof.
Yeah, the butler left a suicide note with all the details.
That's how come you're no longer a suspect. Spells it all out from A to Z.
Dear world, I'm killing myself because I can't live with the guilt any longer. It was I who killed Lady Clement and her son Clive for the diamond. Don't bother looking for the diamond, however, as I've hidden it someplace where you'll never ever find it. So you should give up completely any attempt to recover said diamond. And if, by chance, you discover any other murders in the course of looking for the diamond, I committed those too. Goodbye, cruel world. Sincerely, Adrian Wilson.
And that's that.
Yes, up a lot.
You really think you wrote this note?
Why not?
It's got the signature right there, look.
I don't think a 60-year-old man would dot the I's on a suicide note with little hearts.
He's English.
Yeah, the guy crazy enough to off himself is like all sorts of sick and twisted stuff. And it makes our job so much easier since we don't have to look for the diamond anymore.
Right.
Thing could be anywhere. Whoa. Where you go?
To look for the killer. Nice touch.
It was another baffling case, but then you don't hire a private dick for the easy ones. I didn't like the way the story was shaping up, so I decided to write a new ending, together with a co-writer, a friend who was very close to my heart. In fact, just a little down and to the left. My 45 automatic.
So glad you could drop by.
Hey, sweetheart. Looks like the case just got a little murkier.
You mean Wilson?
The butler was just...
Duh. I just got back myself. I saw some of the LAPD called a couple hours ago, so I went to the scene dressed as a reporter. That's how I got the Marker B steering wheel. Oh, and you can have your watch back. I got the blood type off of it, and it's the same as some residual blood I found on Lady Claremont's dress.
That could only mean one thing. And I didn't know what it was.
Did you know the LAPD didn't even notice the blood on her dress wasn't her own? Sloppy.
Nichols?
Charlie, it's me, Mona. I went to see Tony.
Mona, what are you trying to do? Get yourself killed?
Oh, Charlie, you're right. I don't know what I was thinking. I went to see Tony to apologize, and his men grabbed me and tied me up. They took me upstairs, but I was able to break loose.
Where are you?
I'm outside. I'm at the phone booth in the alley behind Tony's, opposite Dinah's junk shop.
Hold tight. I'm on my way.
Charlie, someone's coming. I can hear him. He sounds awful. He sounds like he might be holding a loaded gun.
Mona, get away from there.
Who are you? What do you want? What are you doing?
Mona!
What is that in your hand? It looks deadly. Don't! Please,
Mona.
don't! Ah!
On my way back to the alley behind Tony's, I may have been listening to a rebroadcast of NBC Presents All Spooky Woogie Dance Emporium and Coffee Clutch, but I was thinking of Mona. I was thinking of what some big ape might be doing to her, and it made me so angry I almost ran De La Salle into a traffic light just to get those pictures out of my head. I knew the alley she was talking about, and I hated going back there. It was dark. Darker than most Hollywood alleys. Sure, there were street lights, but they never seemed to do anything. All they did was make silhouettes of the trench coats and fedoras and cigarettes of the two-bit thugs seeking anonymity in the dark. From the stale air in the alley, you could sometimes catch a faint breeze of the city beyond its borders. The smell of conga lines and movie premieres, of starlets and golf caddies, of palm trees and big-shot movie executives lying by the pool with their phones. And in a snap, you were back in the lot behind Tony's, where the only sound was the cruel, steady drip from the gutter of the liquor store, and the air you breathed was Hollywood's heavier, more common air, laying low to the ground, but rising slowly, steadily, like a fog above a fetid sink of ruined dreams that drain like a million raindrops from a million roof tiles into a million alleys just like this, dotting the city like stars. Yeah, this was easily the world's most depressing alley.
Hey, Henry? Need a light?
Yeah.
Gotcha. You want one?
No.
Better for your health? Hey, Henry?
Yeah.
You know that donut shop down on Melrose and Fairfax?
Stans.
Yeah, Stan's. Well, I was down there on Tuesday, and get this, they added a new donut with the sprinkles on it. It's new and it's got sprinkles.
So it's got sprinkles.
That gives them 6. 6 different kinds of donuts, Henry. One more. Just one more is all they need.
For what?
Huh?
For what the donuts? Oh, they need for what?
Oh, for 7. That'll give them 7 donuts, Henry. Now that means you can go there every day, all week long, and and have a different kind of donut every single day. Only they ain't open Sundays, so I guess it would carry into next week. Not bad, huh?
What are you getting excited for?
I ain't excited.
Why are we out here anyways?
Because the boss says so, Henry.
Bullshit.
It's true.
When did you talk to the boss? He's been Catalina all day.
They sent a wire.
A wire. I don't remember hearing
Henry,
about a wire.
coming this way.
Well. Things are looking up, ain't they, Louis? Charlie Pickles, arriving just in time, like he was Santa Claus himself.
Gee, Charlie, you know you shouldn't have come back here.
I don't want no trouble, Louis. Just give me the girl and I'll be on my way. A girl? We ain't got no girl, Charlie.
Nah, no girl.
We got you, though, so the evening hasn't been a total loss. Where is she? Where's Mona Livingston? Mona Livingston?
Mona ain't here, Charlie.
Nah, we ain't seen that broad in days. Not since you got on Tony's bad side by seeing that kid without permission.
Let's go, Charlie.
Back off, will ya? I've had enough of getting pushed around by the likes of you. Well, you're gonna have to come to terms with your situation, because we're gonna keep on pushing you. Get him, Louis.
I hate to do this, Charlie. Ah! I'm awful sorry about this, Charlie. I just feel rotten for you, Charlie, I do, but you know how the boss is.
Hold it, would you hold it, please? What are you doing, Louis? Mix it up, you pansy.
Well, you asked nice, Henry.
Watch it!
Ah!
Oh!
Ah! My arm, Charlie. I got shot. Oh.
Come here. Let me see it.
I've never been shot before. Jeepers, it really hurts.
How's that? Snug?
Better, I guess. Kind of tingly. Oh.
Did you get hit anywhere else?
I don't think so.
Good. Then this shouldn't do any permanent damage.
Ah! Oh, I deserve that.
What say you, me, and your pulpy arm have a little chat?
Sure, Charlie. I feel real bad about what happened, you know. I'll tell you anything you want to know.
First, where's Mona?
She got away, Charlie.
From a couple of big guys like yourselves?
She's very resourceful, you know that.
Who hired you to grab her?
You know we worked for Tony.
Don't give me that! Ow! The Claremont case is closed, so why the hitch?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Talk!
Ah! Okay. I got another boss.
Bugsy?
Nah, not Bugsy. Not for this. I can't, Charlie.
We're staying here all night until you fess up?
I got the jitters, Charlie. I never wanted to hurt nobody too bad, you know. But I got told to do one bad thing and then another, and I just can't.
Can't what? What can't you do?
I can't tell you. I want to, but I can't, Charlie. I'll get killed. Well, I'd like to avoid that if possible.
You're getting killed either way, Louis, so you might as well come clean.
The butler, Charlie, I know the paper said he done himself in, but I can tell you that wasn't no suicide. It was my card, Charlie. I did it. I didn't do those other murders. I swear I didn't. And I didn't want to do this one, but I had no choice.
Who made you do it, Louis? Who are you working for? Mona, are you all right?
I'm good. I heard the shot. Where you hurt?
Nah, I got out okay.
Louis? Is he dead?
Nah, just
Was he the killer all this time?
No, he's just the butter man.
Butter man? What do you mean?
I mean, it's his job to take dirty laundry to the cleaners.
I don't understand.
He's a hired gunner, get it? A trigger man, a torpedo, a hatchet man, a dropper.
You mean he hurts people for money?
Clear as crystal, baby. Only I gotta find out whoever's paying his rent.
All this killing. It's so awful. Protect me, Charlie. Protect me, please.
I'll take care of you, sweetheart. But first, I better make sure nothing happens to that kiss of yours.
That one on me, tough guy.
What say we keep this conversation going at my place?
Let's scram.
Louis, passing out the moment he was about to reveal the killer, bothered me. But then you find that in this line of work, people usually pass out or die just prior to giving you the one piece of information you need the most. As for Mona, I was goddamn relieved she was okay. I think I was starting to love her, even though I didn't know if I could trust her. But then, why fall in love with a broad you can trust? It's like reading a book you already know the ending to.
Can I fix you a drink, lovely?
Look, baby, I've talked to a lot of people over the past 24 hours, and I've got a couple of questions that need answering.
My, we're all business. I'll bite. Who'd you talk to that got you all hot and bothered?
Veronica Claremont, for one.
The Claremont girl? Why, Charlie, I'm liable to get jealous. What does she have that I don't?
An alibi.
Oh, Charlie, you and your monkey shines. I knew the minute I laid eyes on you and smelled that delicious pickle juice. Beware of this Charlie Nichols, I said to myself. He's a joker, this one is. A regular Marx brother. Daffy Duck's got nothing on Mr. Charlie Nichols.
Oh, you're good. You're harder to get a grip on than an oiled-up routine.
What have I done except come to you for help? Is it my fault that Veronica Claremont and the bottle had just broken off a torrid love affair the night of Lady Claremont's murder?
There was no love affair, Mona, and you know it. The butler was Veronica Claremont's father, but he was never able to tell her. Even after several drinks, there are some things that are so tough to say to a person, a fellow'll break his own heart rather than say it. Poor Slav.
I hope I'm never alone like that butler.
Don't we all?
I hope I can rely on you, Charlie. I know you think I'm being silly, and I would imagine you don't believe a word I say, ever. But there have been people in my life, friends and family, who have believed what I was saying at one point or another. I hope you'd be included in that group. I really do. Ah! I'm so frightened. I've been like this for days. You have to help me.
I'll take care of you, sweetheart.
So many people have been hurt and or killed. I've got Tony's people after me, and the police. Now I'm afraid even you've got me pegged as a killer.
I'm on your side, baby. You just have to trust me.
I love you, Charlie. I could trust you better if you told me that you loved me.
I can't do it, Mona. I've been hurt too much. Just can't take that chance.
I don't blame you. I too have known hurt. Why do you do it, Charlie?
Do what?
Risk your neck for people who usually wind up getting killed anyways.
You ever work in the oil business?
The oil business?
You ever see what an oil well does to a man who mistakenly sticks his head over the gush cap of a clogged drill?
Oh, Charlie.
I spent 11 years working as an oil executive, a real big shot. It's the only business in the world where you have $1 million lying at your feet, and if you have the sense to lean over and pick it up, then you're some kind of genius. That is until one day, after a typical 3-martini lunch, a 19-year-old intern comes and asks if he can see what's wrong with the clogged drill, and you say, "Sure, kid, knock yourself out, just don't stick your head over the gush cap." Seems the kid didn't hear that last part. They shut down production for 2 hours while they searched LA County for his head. When it turned up at a church picnic in San Pedro, the pump started up again as if nothing had happened.
Oh, Charlie.
So I put a shingle on the door that reads, "Private Detective." So maybe the pay's not as good as it once was, and maybe I'm a little late from time to time, maybe my clients are always getting killed, but I can tell you one thing. At least I can sleep at night.
You know, if you aren't careful, a girl might get the idea that you're a pretty swell drunk.
I guess I'll have to take that chance.
What's wrong, Charlie?
Nothing. I just got a headache, is all.
It must be all the excitement.
Sure, maybe I just take a load off.
Charlie?
Whatever she had put in my drink must have been pretty strong. When I woke up, my head hurt as bad as if someone had shrunk Superman in Flash Gordon, stuck him in my brain and told him to start fighting. Winner gets to leave my brain, loser gets to play polo within my brain. She was nice enough to write a goodbye note telling me she loved me and she didn't know when she'd see me again.
That's funny. Who else do I know who dots the I's with little hearts? Nichols? What? Who is this? 111 South Grand? That's on Bunker Hill. Hello? Hello? Bunker Hill.
Bunker Hill. Bunker Hill. It used to be a nice neighborhood right around the time the Pilgrims landed on Plymouth Rock. Since then, it's been known as Duttown, Bumtown, Crumbtown, and Schnooptown. Rows and rows of painted lady flop houses holding every criminal element known to the LAPD rep sheet. Now, I've had 8 partners since I became a PI. 7 of them were shot to death. All of them on Bunker Hill.
Charlie. Why so jumpy, Nichols? He ain't gonna hurt ya. Not now.
Henrietta Lumpus. Were you in on this?
I didn't do nothing. Louis was late for work today, and if you can say one thing about Louis Shorts, it's that he's punctual. Ever since that doofus came out, there ain't a meeting, a lunch date, or an orientation where it's been 5 minutes late for. Henry, he'd say, always drink someone else's salt as valuable as to treat your own. So, I knew when he was 5 minutes late for work today, for the first time in 10 years, he was probably dead.
Why'd you call me out here?
It ain't right to get your partner get rubbed out without who done it, getting what's theirs.
How'd you know I didn't do it?
You wanted Louis Nix, you put him on ice last night.
Louis worked for Bugsy. Maybe Louis was... God gets the taste for diamonds. Bugsy gets wise to him and has him silenced.
Nah. I don't think Bugsy's in the position to be making executive decisions about nobody.
What do you mean?
Did you hear? Bugsy Siegel was found dead this morning. Someone decided he wasn't cut out for hotel management.
Sometimes bad things happen to bad people.
Besides, Louis wasn't looking for rocks. He couldn't find a clown at a circus.
He must have been up to something. A bear doesn't get stung unless he's found some honey.
Louis followed orders. A bear don't dance until, well, someone gives him an 8 count.
Tony's the band leader. He played Louis like a French horn.
Nah. Nah, I can't imagine that.
Maybe Louis was killed in a robbery gone bad.
Anyone who hit this place is the only crook who don't like stealing money or possessions. Nothing's been touched. Not his wallet, not his collection of ducks. Nothing. Not even the nice watch he just got.
Watch?
What watch? Yeah, this one right here.
Geneva Brothers. Wait a minute. I had a note written to me on the back of a receipt that read...
Hey, where are we going?
Louis'd been silenced, all right. Silenced but good. But he wasn't killed for money or comeuppance, but for whatever he had spinning around in that little noodle of his. Damning evidence of whoever had killed Lady Claremont, Clive Claremont, and Adrian Wilson. Now, I had a good hunch who it was, but I was still hoping to be proved wrong. Was I a chump? Maybe. Sucker for pickles? Sure. Did I have a stubborn faith in things I could neither see nor prove? In all likelihood. Was I the first mate on a ship of fools pulling into face the facts, Harbour? I matey. But before I could give up my pipe dreams, I paid a little visit to Nelson's jewelry and pawn shop. I asked Philly, the boy at the front, if he remembered selling a couple of those Geneva Brothers watches to a certain someone. Turns out he did. And then he showed me a little thank you note from the purchase of said watches.
Ida? Nichols.
Charlie, I'm glad you called.
Did you get any results?
I cross-checked the fingerprints and blood type on the watch with the security records from Tony's. You know how Tony's has the strictest background checks in town on account of all the murders they keep having?
Yeah.
Anyway, I got the results.
And?
You ain't gonna like it, Charlie. The murder of Lady Claremont is... And you've already thought of that.
Going somewhere, Mona?
No.
Why the suitcase? waiting for a cab to take you to the train station, you could forget it. One pulled up in front of the building and I told him to take a powder.
Oh, Charlie. Your sense of humor is such a way of putting a girl at ease. I've been on edge all day. The police were here. I didn't know what to think. It's that boy across the way. He hates me, you know. I'm sure you've noticed how many people hate me. Listen to me being pitiful. Forgive me, Charles. I know I've been so very troublesome. I don't know how you can stand it. What's this?
Oh, just a little something I picked up at Nelson's.
A gift? Why, Charles, I never figured you for the type who got other people gifts, you know, because I mean...
Now cut the rhubarb. That's your watch and you know it.
What are you talking about?
I found that in Echo Park on the night of the murder. It has more of your fingerprints on it than a... Well, it has a lot of fingerprints.
That's impossible.
And wrist prints. Bloodstains too that match your type. I also noticed this. This little memo you passed me on the other day happened to be on the back of a receipt from Nelson's. Fella at the place said he sold the watch to a dame. He couldn't remember the color her hair was, but he knew trouble when he saw it.
Why, Charlie, are you going to take the word of some boy?
How do you know it was a boy, Mona?
But you said that...
I also noticed this. You left this note. Thanks for the watch, Billy. It's perfect to wear while committing murder. Love, Mona.
But, Charlie, I swear, I've never heard of this Billy person in my life.
Don't play dumb with me, Mona. It makes your neck look fat.
All right, I admit it. I bought the watch, but I never killed that girl. You've got to listen to me. I know I'm not perfect. I know I'm a liar. I'll always be a liar. I lie about everything, all the time, constantly. I lie so much even I don't know when I'm telling the truth. But you have to believe me this one time when I tell you that I had nothing to do with the tragic shooting of Lady Clement.
How do you know she was shot?
I didn't. I guessed it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Charles, I'm frightened. Protect me, will you? I know it's funny I should ask you for help. The one man who wants to condemn me. But I'm afraid of you for some reason. I'm afraid of those other men, those policemen. I'm afraid of what those men will do to me if they were to think that I was the one responsible for that ghastly murder. You will protect me, Charlie, won't you? You're so strong and palpable.
Stop it.
I love you, Charlie.
That's too bad, because I'm turning you in.
What?
You heard me. You better notify your newspaper boy to cut off your subscription, because you're going away for a long time.
I thought you loved me.
I never said that. I only said you had nice legs, is all.
You talk big, Charlie Nichols, but you don't have a thing on me.
I have evidence that'll connect you to all 4 Bengal diamond killings. That ought to do the trick.
What evidence could you possibly have?
I'd love to go through it with you, Mona, but I'm afraid the police will be here in 5 minutes, and I hate telling the same story twice.
But I was with you when the Clement boy was killed. You know full well I was working when Lady Clement was shot and thrown over the bridge. The butler was hit by a falling car, and you know I can't drive. And I don't know how to operate a sniper's rifle, so I couldn't possibly have killed Bugsy Siegel.
Wait a minute. Who said you killed Bugsy Siegel?
I assumed so many accusations. I love you, Charlie. You have to believe me.
Now want to believe you, baby. And a dame like you can open a man's heart like a tin lid on a can of peaches. Then you reach in and rip the heart out like you would the peaches inside the can. Stick it in a pan filled with pie crust and ask everyone to dig in. Well, you can take your home-style cooking somewhere else, sister, because I've had just about all the broken heart pie I can take.
Don't move a muscle.
Just like a killer.
It didn't have to be this way.
Didn't it? What did you think would happen once you got it into that sweet little head of yours to kill Lady Clement?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You have to do better than this when you explain things to the police. Maybe you didn't kill her for the diamond. Maybe you killed the old lady because you felt sorry for Wilson, the sort of consolation prize for psychotics.
You've wasted your talent as a PI, Charlie. Think of all the great novelists that could be on display in airport lavatories around the world had you the guts to put pen to paper.
After the butler was to chicken to kill his employer, and you had to do it yourself, Clive Clement saw you running from the scene of crime, which led you to murder number 2.
I was wrong about your penchant for fiction. You'd never cut it. You're unfit to write billboards for shaving cream.
Louis Schatz saw what you did to Clive, but that wasn't a problem. He'd been in love with you ever since he knew you back in Oklahoma and would do anything to protect you. Like when you ordered him to kill Adrian Wilson.
Your gears are slipping. You're infringing on the incoherent scribblings of the mentally ill.
Then you tried to use Louis in an ambush to knock me off. But I'm better at disarming the big and dumb than you anticipated. This little bit of weakness spelled the end for poor Louis when he shot him yourself this morning.
Oh, Charlie. I was a fool to believe you loved me.
Say, what's this?
It's not how it looks.
Is this your wounded heart, I see, or is it a 300-carat diamond?
That diamond belongs to me now.
That diamond belongs in a museum.
I've earned it!
Hey, PD, open up!
The police.
It's over, baby. Put the gun down.
It's us, Charlie! Let us in!
I'd love to oblige, fellas, but I've got a caliber 38 suggesting otherwise.
Charles, how could you?
I've been with broads who killed people for self-defense, revenge, or even personal satisfaction. But I could never stomach a dame who killed a person for money. It just doesn't sit right with me.
Back to the count of 3, lady, or we're busting down the store!
It's over, Mona. Put the gun down.
You open that door, and I swear, by God, I'll kill him.
It's not worth it, Mona. You're gonna get yourself killed.
You better clear out of there! Charlie will be cut in!
Cool it, fellas. Let me handle this.
I'm not going to Folsom Prison, Charlie. No one since Mona Livingston up the river.
Got to listen to me, baby.
I'm not going down, Charlie. And if I am, it's with guns blazing.
You can't do this, baby.
How hard can it be? Just pull the trigger and it's lights out, tough guy.
Would you bums lay off? You're gonna get us all killed.
I'm taking you all with me, you hear?
Got something important I gotta tell you, Mona.
We're running out of time, so it better be a last request.
I love you, Mona. I loved you the minute I ever laid eyes on you.
Charlie?
Mona, why'd you do it?
Ain't no one gonna put me away. Not now. Not ever.
I'm sorry it had to end this way, kid.
Me too. Charlie, can I ask you something?
Shoot. Oh, sorry.
What you said back there, did you mean it? You weren't just saying that to keep me from sending your hotline telegram?
I meant it, baby. I love you, Mona. And I always will.
I hope you're not too mad at me for what I did. I feel awful bad for killing all those people and for trying to kill you at least a couple times. You know, I wanted to be a good girl. Truly. And I would have been. But who's time these days, Charlie? If I had no time. Only.
I felt the rise of that old familiar feeling. No, it wasn't hot coffee mixed with Jim Beam and gastric acid. It was a concoction of emotion, just as gut-wrenching, but way more flimsy. A cocktail of red-hot regret, stirred up with some sour sorrow, and decorated with a melted and broken heart. And I had no choice but to swallow it. In fact, there are no choices at all. It's all an illusion. Life is not a forked lightning bolt, it's a pruned bonsai tree. Mona and I never had a chance. We were just small pieces in the great game of life, moved around by that old geezer in the clouds with his weird sense of humor. Yes, I had solved the case, but that didn't make things better. So the only thing I could do, live so long that I'll forget her, or die trying.